Look, it is rare to see an actor actually give a shit about the IP that they're playing in. I mean, it used to be the case, right? Well, let me rephrase that. It was the case that there'd be IPs that would actually sell, and like they would sell off the premise of the IP alone. So you had completely new actors, completely new faces that acted the role, and the IPs, so like Stargate, Battlestar Galactica, right? RoboCop, Warhammer 40K. I mean, or The Witcher, I guess in this case, at least the first season. Like they would play the role, the IP would make money and get popular, but then somewhere along the lines, once they got popular, you get the ideologues in because they see the money rolling in. And they're like, oh, I want a position. I want a piece of that cake. They roll in. They inherit the IP. They believe, oh no, the way the IP was made before was evil, despite it being making money at the time. And we can do better, right? We have this ideology that allows us this ability to just do better than what was been done before. And you see this like Marvel and Star Wars, and apparently with Warhammer 40K, or well, Creative Assembly and Games Workshop has the same fucking issue. And when this happens, the fans turn away. People who were once interested into the IP just turn away. Casuals turn away, or maybe there are certain casuals that stay there. Like you look on the official forums, right? And there's fewer people than on the unofficial forums because they have these moderators that are ideologically charged, and they don't talk about the IP itself. They talk about, oh, who you voted for, or if you believe trans women are women, or are you all for the LGBTs, like stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with the IP itself. And this was also true back in the day where, you had the conservatives in power. Like, it'd be the same thing. It's like, do you believe in God and country and America? Hell yeah. It's like, well, that's fascinating, but I want to play D&D and play as a warlock. Well, you're not allowed to fucking do that. I'm sorry. Witchcraft, the demonic. And again, I'd tell these people to shut the fuck up just as equally as like as the people nowadays. I'll tell them to shut the fuck up because at the end of the day, I just want to play some fucking D&D. I just want to watch Witcher. Like I want to shut my brain off and watch entertainment, but people with an ideology that want to impose it on everybody, and not even everybody, everything they touch. And it's like, bro, why are we doing this? And this is what happened with The Witcher because Henry Cavill, I believe, was carrying The Witcher, and the first season was amazing, but then the second and third seasons were very, very meh. Well, I think the third season was the worst. So he leaves that, and he moved, and he's into Warhammer 40K, like as an IP, because I genuinely do believe he is a gamer. Like he's a grown ass adult that puts money aside to entertain himself, and I think this is 100% fine. But now that we see that there's a Warhammer 40K show that might be shelved, and was Amazon, they might shelve it because here's what happens, right? Companies buy up IPs and they don't actually do anything with the IP. They just don't want other people to do anything with the IPs. So they sit on them. They don't make money. They just hold them. Like they hold all their pieces to their chest and they refuse to lend them out. And this is what Microsoft is doing. Like they're buying up studios, they're buying up IPs. Like this is how business in the entertainment sector is done. You buy up 10, 20, 30 companies, 10, 20, 30 IPs. You shelve the ones that you don't think will make money. And you do very little with the things that do, right? This is how its business is done nowadays. And if you try to make an upstart company, you'll have the censors roll in, you'll have interest groups roll in, Sweet Baby will try to extort you. Like, this is how it's done. This is why there's very few new IPs coming out, and the very few that do exist also get fucked with, like in the case of Helldivers and Stellar Blade. Like, they absolutely did. Like, corporate interests do try to fuck with things that are popular and that the market enjoys. Like, you have the community managers of Helldivers doing everything in their power to destroy the community, right? And again, this is the way it's done, and I 100% believe him when he says it's shelved, because again, Amazon bought up parts of the property of this IP, and they know that anything they do will be trash, right? They do not believe they have the creativity, because all their money goes into consultants and very few goes into the actual development process, right? And this is why. Oh yeah, and they they have a cameo for Archcast channel, right? Uh, he explains right now the agreement in principle between Games Workshop and Amazon appears to be in effect. This means that a team of Amazon, a team of writers, is right now trying to write out a story that is going to be turned into the Warhammer 40k television show. That they have, I believe, a few more months on this deadline for this project, and they have to hand it in, and then it either has to be greenlit or they have to have their writing date further postponed and hope that they can produce something better further down the line, or the entire project will be shelved. Yeah, I mean, they have a due date, they have things set, which is fine, but just a couple of months, like, Amazon has okay projects. Like, The Boys up until the last season, or this season, was pretty damn good. This season, they're kind of just flaunting, right? So that's all for the Archcast. You can watch that if you want. And again, in any other way, like, there are so many Warhammer 40k games and fan projects that exist that are just better than anything that they could probably put out. But I know that the person who made Astartes, that's fan made project, was given an ultimatum. Either he works for what was it, Creative Assembly or Games Workshop. Either he works for Games Workshop, or they sue, like, they try to shut him down or get him fucking go to court with him. And yeah, this is how it's done. Like, they, for a few months and for a few couple of years, they allow their IP to be used by people just to gain, clout, just to gain eyes on the project that is 40k. Then out of nowhere, they decide, okay, now we want all our pearls clutch. We want all our pieces to our chest. And they copyright strike channels. They copyright strike, fan made projects. And, they go through waves like this. And this is done intentionally. Because, again, as someone who likes the project, they're effectively a walking billboard, right? And if even more so if they make a fan made animation from their own money using Warhammer 40k's IP, right? That's even more, and it looks good, like, even more so. Like, they used to lend their IP to, like, Relic and many other companies to make Warhammer 40k into to just add more content and add more products that encompass Warhammer 40k. But for some reason, most of those are like card games. Like, there are quite a few Warhammer 40k card games that are out that just look goofy. Like gotcha card games. It'd be interesting if they made a gotcha game. Well, I guess the card games are that. That is, Warhammer 40k. And as far as the story, I don't care for the Primaris Marines. Like, again, it's their attempt to move the story forward, which, okay, it needed, but not in this way. Like, I don't really even like the design of the Primaris. No, these are the Ultramarines, but I think every single uh, chapter has a Primaris variant, and it just takes away from what makes the chapters unique, right? It's like, okay, you have Primaris, what are they, Blood Angels that don't have the red thirst. It's like, well, are they Blood Angels then? It's like, there's no way the uh, the Space Wolves would accept the Primaris variant of Space Wolves. Like, under no circumstances will the Black Templars accept the Primaris variant. Because it's like, oh, so you're injecting these apparently new not Primarch, Space Marines from Mars that don't have any of the genes that our Primarch has, and you're expecting us to work with them. What the fuck do you think you're doing? But they wanted to move the story along. It's kind of like in the situation with Warhammer Fantasy, where they're like, oh, we need to move the story along. So therefore, destroy the world, make Age of Sigmar, which is pretty much just Space Marines and fucking uh, in fantasy, and we have like realms and shit, and it's like, well, this is not what I wanted. Now, if you're into it, I mean, good. I mean, it's nice that somebody is okay with the decisions they make. It's just not for me. It's why Total War Warhammer 3, I think Immortal Empires is the best product they could get, despite trying to just slowly trickle in content every once in a while. But, and the problem is Amazon just doesn't have, I doubt they have the creativity to make 40K, because, look, they'll probably do what The Boys does and slap 20 execs on the project, and they need to be paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. They'll probably slap fucking, I don't know, consultants for whatever reason. They need hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's why, and they'll probably throw like a couple of new actors, like not new actors that have existed, like I don't know, The Rock. He's like 500K, like a shoot. And this is why movies and TV shows cost so fucking much, and you know, multi-billion-dollar companies in like Hollywood to make, because most of the money is effectively shoveled out to things, into people that don't add to the story. They're just there, and because they're there, they just deserve this amount of money. And the unfortunate thing, and it's Amazon, right? They're also doing the thing where they're sucking up IPs. And I don't blame Cavill himself. I mean, he legitimately likes the IP. You know, again, he's like most people who set money, set time apart just for entertainment. And again, he's probably a wealthy actor who doesn't need to work a lot of positions or do a lot of acting. Like, he probably has all the money he needs, and he chooses to spend it on 40K painting dolls, and he cares about the IP. But unfortunately, the companies over at 40K, they don't. Like, they view it as just another product, right, that they need to shove something out in order to please investors. But again, does that product have any substance? I don't know. Like, I'm going to play Space Marine 2, but I'm pretty sure it's going to go through a couple more waves of delays before it actually comes out. And it might come out buggy and broken, who knows? They might use fucking de novo DRM and force you to be always online to play it, even in single player. There's just things that you know that's going to happen. That's just like, well, this is a stain on the product, but I'm still going to give it a try. Any comments? Sad but unexpected when Warhammer became woke. Absolutely. Like this is exactly why people are turning off from Warhammer 40K. It's like, why bring current day into fantasy? Like, it just turns people off. It's like having a medieval, you know, it's like having like the Lord of the Rings, but there's the fucking Brugatti in there, that Aragorn drives around. It's like it destroys your immersion. And it's like, if you want my money, you'll want me to care. If you don't want me to care, then fine. I guess I just won't give you my money. Like this is how I think, right? If you want me to care, if you want me to be invested, right, then you'll want my money. If you don't want my money. Wouldn't surprise me if Jennifer Psyche interferes too much. I don't know who that is, but I think she's someone over uh in Amazon. There's fireworks going off, so you're gonna hear that. But anyway, I'm not surprised if it gets shelved. Right? But I mean, if it's good, I want it to be good. I want 40K to be good. It's just, I doubt they know what to do anymore to make 40K good or to bring people back. They just want to grasp the IP close to their chest and not do anything with it. But that's really all I gotta say about this. Peace.